Episode 16. It feels like we often find a piece to a puzzle that doesn't actually give us that much. We have to find the rest of the pieces scattered throughout the house in random rooms. This is what I consider puzzle type 3, just the bigger mystery of finding things or whatever. With this, for example, never really knew what the back button did. I guess we have some indication of how we can press buttons to make indicators do different colors, but even with this information, we don't know what this does, what it's for. And then there's the whole email thing that we have to get more information from anyway. Feels like we're missing 2+ more pieces of the puzzle. For just one thing, there's so much more. And there's so much more house to explore. From the foundation, gotta make our way back there. After we open up the funeral parlor puzzle. Currently on the last day of our dancer buff. Also a hovel run. Good combo, but I'm not sure how well we will do on steps this time. We seem to be running low, it feels like it, since we start with 70, and we gotta go all the way back to the foundation. The gems are in the false box. Well, which one is that? The gems are in the false box. There could be two liars. These could be the two lies, or they could both be telling the truth. They're either both lying or both the truth, because they're the same statement. Only one of the other boxes is false. Let's say this is true. Only one of the other boxes is false. If this is true, then this one might be the truth-telling one. But then, this one would also be the truth-telling one because it's the same statement. So this cannot be a true statement, because both of the boxes have to be false. Which means this is... Wait, no. This is a false statement. The false part of this statement is that both of the other boxes are telling the truth. That's it. And since this is a false box, these two agree that the gems are in the black box. We got more gems than usual, but we would have gotten 3 gems if we just made this the +3 gem parlor rather than the red funeral parlor. I'm still not unhappy with my decision so far to make it the red room build funeral parlor. Onto the foundation. Should be a couple of places for us to dig up there. We can maybe come back to the dark room if we manage to find the fuse box. Great. We got a lot of resources except for steps. This is beginning to be a problem. We might just have to go for rooms that don't require steps. This is around the time where I need to start saving. Or gaining with the guest bedroom. This precludes us... Well, no, we still have the dark room to get the other things on the right side of the estate. We'll do the guest bedroom. Oh, there's something there. Oh, great. I want to use a magnifying glass on some of the stuff in the mailroom. But I'm not going to walk all the way back there now. Maybe if we get the garage, we can cut around the outside later. if we get the garage and power from the utility box. Alright, I know I have to save, but it's the rumpus room. And actually, we need the rumpus room to even make it out. Oh, we can rotate, that's why we have the gems. Maybe we rotate north? We could just rotate after the rumpus room. It's like a different room. Probably. We got some steps back, so I'm probably okay with spending a little bit. The rumpus room is pretty valuable, both for the coins and for Alzara. Alright, what have you got for us today?
And, as it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin. You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future. The image is becoming clear. I see the darkened cloud of ruin, familiar to us both. Now decrepit, run down, and in disrepair. I see 8 red envelopes, resting upon 8 pedestals. And in these 8 envelopes, I see 8 letters penned by 8 different hands. 8 letters of which you will only ever find and read 7. Just like the art hanging on the walls of these rooms, there is a letter missing. What you have heard here has been foreseen by the great Alzara. Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say.
Puzzle type 3 shit. Man. Okay, first of all, 8 letters? We only found 1. For a second there, I thought it was going to say we would only ever find and read 1, because it's beginning to feel like that. What does that even mean, that there are 8 letters and we'll only find and read 7? It's starting to feel like some ARG shenanigans or something. And on top of that, he mentioned the pictures in the rooms. What was his exact phrase? Just like the pictures hanging in these rooms, there is a letter missing. What is this? This has to do with the password. And I think maybe every room has something to do with it. I was thinking that we have to go to the security room, find the key there, the 2 pictures on the billboard, and then find a different room in the house with the picture and without the other picture to find like some document with what could be the password. But the way he phrased it, it sounded like whatever the subject is, like tiger or something, there would be a letter missing between the pictures or something like that. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to figure out here. Like, if we were to look at all the pictures across all the rooms and start gathering letters from them or something, find some kind of missing letter, it feels like that's something what he was talking about. I don't know. We might need more help here. Let's just find the antechamber, if we can. Well, shit. We're dead if we don't fix this. 2 dead ends. We need the compass to go north, but we can't do that, so we need to do this. Having items to buy isn't the worst thing in the world. I don't even know what words these would be, like aviator or park, garden. We got this at least. Wait, to pull this? I can't believe it. I never even thought to try this. It's SWANSONG. SWANSONG. I guess the password had nothing to do with the photos after all, or the pictures. This is something else, I guess, other than the password? Well, SWANSONG is easy to remember. It's like a normal word, and it's also having to do with swans, the Epsons. Could I have... I don't think I would have been able to just stand up and be able to read the password, like I normally try to do, whenever something is too small. I'm glad we have that now. Which of these is useful to us? The steps are important. It's only five coins. The sledgehammer lets us, well, we would need to find a lockbox. And frankly, they feel pretty rare, unless I do an experiment or whatever. Metal detector is good in general, that's why it costs so much. Get more coins and keys, just in general, and also helps you not miss anything. But I really need those steps, don't I? I feel like I want to come back for the metal detector at some point. Maybe. How often are we going to find food, though? Maybe we just have to hope that we find food. It's only 1 step per food, but if we run into the kitchen, we can buy food. I guess. If we don't spend money on the metal detector. Or we could just buy more food if we get more coins from the detector. Guess I'll do this after all. That might have been the wrong choice. But I don't think I can bank on getting food. We've gone through all of these rooms and only found, like, an apple. Food doesn't just happen. Not, like, all the time. Doesn't feel like it. And we do need keys. This is getting risky. I think we need to rotate back towards the center. But maybe we save that for until we need to absolutely do it, which would be in the next room after we go to the left here from the boudoir or the laboratory. We need to save steps. We can't do the lab. The experiment would be nice. The experiment might give us steps. We're technically more than 25, which was my arbitrary breakpoint for starting to save. I think we'll do this. Hopefully we get a room that lets us go north. This might have been the thing that kills me. I always make a mistake like this. Well, we know the password now. Experiment first. No steps. We could get stars. That's interesting. Wait, 1 gold to our allowance? These seem pretty good. These are both like roguelike building for later. The next 3 times you open a locked trunk. We did that before. It worked out with our sledgehammer. But it won't really combo well because we'll actually have to stumble across them naturally. Whenever you spend 2 or more gems when drafting a room, again, we're doing a hovel run, so I don't know if this counts. I think we want to avoid this anyway. Each time you unlock or bypass a security door. I think we're currently on low-level amount of security doors. We set that to low. We'd have to go back to security after we get the utility closet or the key card to make them high, to make the most use out of this experiment. I think out of everything, this one might be the most useful. Maybe. Only if we can actually bypass the door. How often are these other ones going to happen anyway? I think we want allowance, right? We'll try that. And let's log in. Turns out it doesn't take all 12. I did think using all 12 would go pretty far to the right, like not being centered on the screen. It just seemed kind of weird if we used all 12 and it was hanging off the edge like that. Perfectly centered, pretty much. We finally did it. It's going to be a pain to enter that every time, though. Hopefully we just get all the information quickly. One by one, I guess? Yeah. Staff services. At least the manor has internet, kind of. A network. Punch in and out, staff announcements, schedule change, special orders. This service has been temporarily disabled. Right, we kind of read about this the first time in the security room. As of November 4, all work has been suspended at Mount Holly, and all domestic staff has been placed on an extended paid leave. We did read about that too. In accordance with the instructions left by the old man himself. Is that what they call him? In the computer where he can't access because he's old? Maybe. See Mrs. Babbage for more detail. Staff announcements. Saturday, November 7th. When did we start the game? November... Hang on. I think 16 was day 10 or 11 or something. This would have been like the first day we came, I think. Or the day after. I don't think anyone else has access to this network this month except for you, Simon. So if you're reading this, just know we're all rooting for you. Your friends in faithful service. Thanks, guys. Hopefully Simon rehires everyone once he gets the inheritance. Schedule change, huh? Yep, this is all out of service. What about special orders? If you would like to get a specific brand of gum or your favorite fruit, the commissary is now taking special orders for all members of the staff. Special orders can take 1 to 3 days. Okay, I'll place one. Oh, better than gum. What do we want for sure? Well, we put the compass inside the code check. Magnifying glass is only useful sometimes. I mean, obviously, there are things that I've overlooked, looking at with a magnifying glass. That's how I got here. Metal detector, running shoes, shovel, sleeping mask, sledgehammer. Which one do we absolutely want to be in the commissary all the time? It would mean having to spend money. I think the shovel gets the most mileage. We use it the most, right? It's not going to be in the commissary all the time, but it will be there the next time. You know the detector costs 10. The shoes would only be useful now if we were doing this hovel build. I mean, we will do hovel builds in the future, I'm sure. It just won't be as useful without the diamond buff, the dancer. I don't know, just give me the shovel. 1 to 2 days, sure. This doesn't preclude it from spawning in a different room, we know that. Remote terminal access. It is possible to connect to other active terminals elsewhere on the estate using RTA. Oh, I see. So we can do all the... just like the internet. Good. This is what the internet should be for. I mean, we can do this without walking all the way back to the actual security room, which is only 5 steps away, but this is good. We can just do this forever now that we know the password. God damn it. Oh, last password, thank you. They knew. They knew it would be a problem. So other than this, there is the shelter. I didn't know the shelter had a computer. We gotta try that. Email. We've heard a lot about email. The permissions of this terminal do not allow access to the electronic mail account. Currently, this feature can only be accessed via the terminal located in the office. Wait, what? Yeah, we know this is a lie, so I guess what the computer is telling us is true. Even if we VPN'd into the security terminal, we won't be able to get in. We can at least try, I guess, like, after we're done with the other stuff. It's dial-up, it's slow. Just reading this again. Data transfers. Data transfers from Cinca are not currently available. Okay. What's that for? Glossary of terms. Oh, are we just getting, like, definitions here? I see. We could learn about the entire game this way. This is what the internet is for. Anything useful here? Maybe black print? We've never seen a black print before. Oh no, wait. We did read about black prints, like, as a history lesson, but it doesn't seem to be necessarily a game term. Is this important to know for any other reason? Is it, like, just entered here for, like, spacing things out so that there's a lot of different things here in the glossary? Because most of these are game things, other than this. In the commissary, players may find an arcade cabinet for the popular game Dirigiblocks. To the dismay of bored members of the staff, the cabinet has not been in working order for the last several years. Although the game is not currently accessible, it is scheduled to be added in a future patch. This game is going to have patches? This is what this is saying, right? Interesting. This game might be bigger than I thought. Yeah, we know about archive floor plans. Rooms are considered adjoined if they are connected to each other via a doorway. Sure. Yep, we know about additions, I guess. Contraptions, yeah, we haven't made one yet. Right, that's called a compass, that little A thing. I mean, obviously. I just forgot. I knew what it was called, but I didn't really... It doesn't matter. Luck. We all need a bit of it. Luck determines the likelihood that you will find additional items and rooms on your estate. Luck can be raised by certain items and rooms marked on their floor plan by Clover. Really? I'd never seen that. We weren't lucky enough to get more luck. A feature on the network that you are now perusing. A list of words and architectural jargon that is intended to make simple the terms you will encounter on the estate. Entries marked question mark will become gradually revealed as you progress. Oh, so we can't just look things up ahead of time. They're like hidden until we get there. Interesting. So these are all terms that we've seen already, I guess. Maybe? Right. The little symbol about entering. I guess I never really put two and two together, but I mean, I just intuited it, I guess. But what about the rooms that aren't... They call it a 45 floor plan grid. But there's also the outside place, which seems to count as part of the place, part of the house, based on the fact that we got 3 keys from the outside room. But I guess that's not the 46th room, is it? And then on top of that, there's more than 45 rooms possible. Like, there's only 45 on the grid, 9 times 45, or 9 times 5. 9 ranks 5 across, but... there's like more possible than 45, based on the fact that we've got bedrooms, red rooms, green rooms, more than just the ones numbered 1 through 46. Is like the canon house only the rooms that are numbered? What's the difference between house and the estate? Oh, the house is the 45 floor plan grid of Mount Holly, okay. And the estate refers to all the explorable areas of Mount Holly, including the rooms currently drafted, as well as the grounds. The house, on the other hand, is only referring to the current rooms, as shown on the Mount Holly blueprint. Is there such a distinction that this is important? Like in-game? With the way certain cards work or whatever? What about mechanical? These rooms are often heavy in mechanics and often contain control systems that can interact with other elements on the estate. These rooms are marked by the symbol of a gear. I mean, we kind of figured, yeah. We've seen these rooms. Couldn't get the boiler room working with the lab, though. It seems weird to have to connect that with the air vents or whatever. Nothing really interesting here. Well, we can, I guess, kind of get a more solid definition of stars. There are several ways to increase the amount of stars visible in the night sky. The easiest method, of course, is drafting observatories. We already know that we can get more stars through experiments like we've seen. Each additional star creates new formations of constellations, which in turn provide beneficial effects, but only barely. Beware the rooms of red. They offer powerful expansion options but come at a dangerous cost. That's it. A few terms we haven't even seen yet, I guess. Alright, one last thing. See if we can access the mail on the security terminal, like the liar red note says. How do we... I guess we would log into the network from... Right. It's kind of weird. Logging into the network from a computer we've connected to through the network. And that's just the same thing. But as we expected, we can only do it from the office anyway. Could we still, like, VPN into the office if we activated it? Just as an example? And then read the mail that way? Probably not. It's getting risky now. Getting real risky. Alright, I think this is what we want. The hall. We can go down and maybe get something that isn't locked. I want that compass, though. We just have no choice. We can go back to the dark room eventually, if we have enough steps. Key, please? Okay, fine. I mean, I'll take it. We need this. Absolutely need it. We also don't need to step inside. There's no gem in the usual spot. No fruit that I can see of. I think we're fine. Oh, I could, like, remote into the security terminal and check for items. But let's not do that. I don't think I've missed anything. Oh god. We could get more keys through the dark room and all that. It would just be like a random thing. This one gives us more doors. They could be locked. They should be less locked here on this side. I think it's going to be this one. I think the garage can spawn in the next room, right? It's not too far from the pass. It'd be great if we could draw it. It's locked. Of course it is. It would also be helpful if we got the secret garden key and could open the antechamber, so this locked door isn't too bad. Okay. It's risky now. Yeah, we gotta go back to the dark room. This is a problem. Wait, are we walking by it anyway? The security room? Not really, we don't have to walk into it. It's gonna take a minute, but just do this quickly. At least this is faster than manually entering the password every time. There's a key. And a safe deposit key? Where? What? That would be in the vault, right? What room would that be in? It would have to be one of the rooms I didn't step into after creating, either the guest bedroom or the nursery or both. Do we step back? No, we're gonna have to come back this way. If we manage to even get, like, steps back from the dark room plus a key and all that. We know there's a key somewhere. It could be in the nursery. We could step into the nursery, find a key, and continue to explore the drawing room. It might be in the guest bedroom too. I think we start with that. Man, this is tough. I feel like I'm getting nowhere. We didn't really get any new rooms this episode either. We got one today, but... it feels like a loss to me if I spend the entire hour getting nowhere. Damn, it was a waste. The metal detector would have told us. We are about to die. Can we pick up this gem even if we can't see it? Guess not. Alright, dark room. Give me your worst. Your best, actually, would be nice. We gotta conserve steps. This doesn't help. It's a dead end. This day is a bust. The only thing we can do is try to find that key. There are two keys that are apparently somewhere. A safe deposit key somewhere we missed. As well as a normal key, which is probably in the nursery, I guess. Where could that safe deposit key be? Yeah, I should have done this first. Now I'm out of steps. Should have explored the drawing room first. Crap. Probably gotta go right? To be less likely to be locked than north. If only you were there when we were drafting the dark room. We gotta continue forward, so redraw. This is the only option, but it's probably going to be locked. Wait, no. We only have 4 coins. We would be down 3 steps and up 3 steps for like a little bit of food. I guess we just take the hit and solve this game one more time. Just to add it to our accomplishments. Well, now we have more coins to buy food, I guess. Too bad we don't have a kitchen. That would be 9. Damn it. Right, I can take my finger off the stick once it's there. Oh, surefire way. 16 is... and 12 and is 3 here. Plus minus times and divide, right? 5 times 3, 15 divided by 5 is 3. Great. You know, it would be fantastic if we actually had security doors. Too bad we don't have the steps to even go back to the lab and activate the security doors on high. We just need, like, a bedroom to draft, you know? But this is just going to be locked, isn't it? Well, that's nice and all, but none of this helps us. We have no keys. This is a dead end, technically. Oh boy. What if we rotated it? Because there's like only one open door, even though the other door is open after you press a button. I mean, this day is already over, so... yeah. Because the passageway would have no effect if you rotated it, and the Chamber of Mirrors is technically a dead end. We never found that key, though. That special whatever key. We'll never find it now. Where would it have been? I went into the guest bedroom. Could it be that it was hidden inside the servants' quarters and I didn't find it there? It'd be nice to go back with our metal detector and try to find it, but no such luck. That's the only place I could think it would be. Except for the mailroom, I guess. If it spawned there and I just missed it? Right. Just make it that. Yeah, I know there's metal. It doesn't help us any though. It's hidden behind over there. Alright. Game over. Maybe I should have done this room after all. How would that have even helped us though? We just ran out of keys this time. Went too far north and we had no keys. The last day of our Blessing of the Dancer didn't go so well. Am I forgetting anything? Don't think so. Game over. We know the passing of the days corresponds to an actual passing of days in the calendar, because it was November something or other when we started and the day keeps on ticking up. Could you even there doesn't appear to be a limit on the amount of days that you're allowed to try this. No one was ever mentioned. So could you potentially go ad infinite or whatever? And then the calendar date would read, a year in advance or something? Whenever there's a calendar in a room or something? Would have been nice if we could have triggered that allowance thing. We got the card and everything, but just no doors. Maybe I should have preemptively made the doors more likely to appear. But then we didn't know that we were going to get the card. I don't think there was a good choice there. Unless you absolutely knew the exact statistics. We haven't done the shelter before. We'll do it. At least it'll be something new this episode. And we know there's a terminal there that we can log into. This is interesting. Going down these stairs like this. Kinda creepy. Why would a shelter like this be made? An underground bunker located away from the main house. This fallout shelter was designed specifically for air raids. Would that happen in this area? And features thick walls made from lead and other materials intended to block radiation. The computer terminal within has been connected to the house's network system, should an emergency necessitate remote access. The effect should just be in place, but there should be stuff to find here, right? When you're stuck in a shelter, I guess this is all you can get, right? It's not a bad picture. But it just seems like it would make you yearn for the outside. I don't know. Enough beds for 3. Enough supplies for 3, hopefully? How long would you have to last? Yep, canned water. And a time-locked safe. Remain where you are for now. Given that the Red Guard is due tomorrow, we've agreed with your plan and have disabled remote access to the other terminals and have sealed the network mainframe. Regardless of the danger, I am still not willing to risk removing shelter from the draft pool while the three of you are down there. Our best bet is to sit tight and hope for a little bit of luck. What does this mean? We don't know who it's from and to who it's being sent, but apparently the three people down here were on the run from the Red Guard, and this is a message that came from the outside. Could this have been from Herbert, trying to hide some people in the shelter? And he could have removed the shelter from the draft pool so that they couldn't be found, like no doors could lead to the shelter, a perfectly sealed shelter. That would protect them from the danger of the Red Guard, but he didn't want to risk removing it from the draft pool because of the implied risks of however this system works. You might not be able to get out if it's not in the draft pool. You'd just be stuck down here. Who was down here? What three people? It figures it's probably locked. By time. The Mount Holly bomb shelter. Of course we can access the safe, I guess. Radiation monitor? A measurement of the radiation levels detected in the house and surrounding grounds. These readings are often spiked by the experiments conducted in Mount Holly's laboratory. If the reading is 12 USV or higher, I don't know that unit of measure. Emergency protocol will initiate, and all doors in the house will automatically unlock. Interesting. So by doing experiments in the laboratory with this room active, you could unlock all the doors, and you could do it from the lab after creating this place from the outside by using VPN or whatever, remote desktop, whatever it's called. It's just networking, whatever. .08, nothing's going on. It makes sense because we don't have any rooms. But there are probably other ways we can make radiation happen. Whenever we get a computer and we do like a mechanical room or something, we can check in with this. The shelter's time lock safe can be accessed by setting an unlock date and time. You can use any date and time as long as it's at least 1 hour in the future. Once unlocked, the time lock safe will remain open for 4 hours. Can we change this? Or rather, can we change it after we changed it once? If we only get one shot, then I don't want to make a mistake, because I have trouble remembering the date this started. For once, just because I don't want to make a mistake here, I'm actually going to pause the episode and look up in one of my videos what I forgot. I know I got the date from the calendar inside the vault at episode 2 episodes ago or something. And as for the time, we know how that system kind of works, sort of. It's based on the rank, and we know we get closer to the end of the day as we get closer to rank 9. So that would be what progresses the hour, I guess. But I'm not completely certain at what time we start. There was the sundial on the grounds of the estate, over in the orchard. I think I'll check those videos. And back in. Based on my videos, it seems like with us on day 13 right now, from the reference point of day 10 being our big casino botched run, on the same day that we looked at the calendar and kind of discerned the date, that day 10 was November 16th. And we're now on day 13, 3 days after, so today should be November the 19th. I might start writing down the date, or at least now that I have one date written down, I can look at the current day and do addition. And on top of that, as for the time, looking back at my video where I first looked at the orchard with a sundial, at the time when I just left the entrance hall, which would have been the beginning of the day and no further progression, it seemed like the sundial was at the 2 o'clock position, which would be when the day starts, I guess. Luckily, the sundial, despite being a difficult way to tell time in real life or something, it seems like that they specifically divided it into 12 sections, like the pips on a clock or whatever they're called, with the indents on the sundial, and it was very distinctly on the 2 o'clock position, so that should be our current time right now. November, checking my note again, 19, 2 p.m. is the current time, but we have to set it for some future time apparently. Logging into the network won't do us any good because, I guess, all the emails only accessible from the office, and we already did all the network stuff we can do. So it has to be at least 1 hour in advance. I think it should be 2 p.m. right now. Wait, hang on. Does that make sense? I think. With the way a sundial works, it's like, does it go all the way around the clock? Like, it would only show the times when the sun is up, right? I guess. Actually, how do you read a sundial? When it's directly above the sundial, it'll be at noon, right? We're not starting in the morning, not really. I don't think. Are we starting while the sun is setting? I'm not so sure. The date should be right, but the time... Well, we can try 2 p.m. and it'll tell us if it's in the future, right? It'll not work if it's not in 1 hour. What if we make this 1 p.m.? Okay, wait. At least we can experiment like this. Make it like the very beginning of the day. What happens if we do it in the past? Huh. Either I'm completely wrong with the date, or it lets you do this regardless, and you just kind of... Well, I have more references for clocks in the house or something, like in videos, but I don't want to go back and do that. I think what I'll do is assume 4 p.m., just to be safe. It'll remain open for 4 hours after that. So depending on how far we get in the house, we can come back and try this again. If 1 hour advances for every rank you get, and you start at 2 p.m., rank 9 would be around 11 p.m., right? I could go over to the sundial right now. It would be a waste of steps, though. Let's just try to find some clocks inside. Wait. I'm an idiot. Does this surprise anyone? I don't think so. Doesn't surprise me. There's a clock right there. It's always been there. So the day starts actually at around 11. I'm pretty sure I saw like 2 p.m. on the sundial, but I'm probably just reading the sundial wrong. No, wait a second. Wasn't this thing broken? It's not moving like the other clocks were. At least the minute hands were moving on those. Let's try to find like a moving clock inside somewhere. There should be plenty. Alright, we'll pick that up when we're ready. I think start on this side, this time. Well, okay, we'll take it. Give us the compass, yeah. Code check right next to the lobby. It makes sense. And now things will go north. Sure, done. It has a clock. This is perfect. We're still at like the lowest rank, rank 1. Okay, I guess the time was right. It does actually start at 11. And I set the time to 4 p.m. It'll be a waste of steps, but we could go back and set the time to... Well, when would it be 4 p.m. if we assume 1 hour passing for each? We're on rank 1, so rank 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty far in. We'd have to get past the foundation. I just want new stuff, you know? So I'm going to do this. We're going back there. That was 11, right? We're gonna set it to 12. So I guess the clock over there isn't broken. Oh, the minute hand moved, I think. Even though the minute hand is moving faster in the other... in the clock inside the estate. Feels like they give you the den specifically so you can look at all the clocks there. They've even called out the clocks before. Right, so it would be 12 p.m. That's the convention, meaning noon. Yeah? Yeah. And we should just need to advance 1 rank. I think. Let's just do this first for... just as a normal thing. We'll make the funeral parlor, I guess. It's close to the entrance hall. Maybe. I think we can come to the funeral parlor when it's 3 or more. But we'll just save that for later. I guess. Green room, maybe? Makes sense. We've got doors leading to the other rooms to the left and right of the green room. And the green room could have an item. More importantly, we want to advance the time. No items to speak of. It doesn't say 12 over there, though. We can see the clocks from here. Maybe it doesn't actually work the way I thought it did. Maybe it's like 30 minutes per rank? That could make sense. Oh, our package. Well, we want the package. This is pretty rare, isn't it? The mailroom. Customer's copy. Packing slip, the Singa Company. 445 West Barbaran Avenue. Date packed 11/5 by K. Thompson. This wasn't that long ago. Who's Thompson? Department 604, serial number, big number. That was included an amateur lockpick kit, a silver key, and 2 keys. Damn it. I'm wasting time. I'm wasting steps on this run just for the safe, but this is hugely useful. Crap. Order number 5254. That's, in red. Should I write that down? Does it matter? It appears twice on the dock. me do that. Alright. We began the episode here in the mailroom, and we could end it here again, but I don't want to. And for keys for when the lockpick doesn't work, and silver key too. Before we head out, don't think the safety deposit key was in here last time, unless I'm missing it again. Okay. We went to rank 3. Is it now 12 p.m.? Damn it. A little bit more, I guess. Maybe it's not based on how many ranks you go, but how many doors you open, and it advances a few minutes technically, even though the minute hand is already moving on its own, sort of. It just makes the hour hand move closer to the actual hour. We can build north of the funeral parlor, or... well, we'll do that. We're probably not going to get very far this time. Oh, we're sheltered from this. Right. I guess we won't lose 30 steps if we lose, but I don't think we're going to lose anyway. Alright, let's do the chapel. We won't lose things from this. That's good. I'm going on a little bit extra longer just to get that stupid bomb shelter working. This ain't a bedroom. We're heading back to the foyer soon anyway, I think. Garage would be nice, in general. It's kind of a long walk, and it doesn't help us with like a shortcut. Don't have the utility closet yet. Make it a storeroom. This might have been a bad idea. Maybe we should have just gone for the garage when we had the chance, because then we could just use the car keys if we found it. I gotta start doing that. I gotta start actually going for specific rooms rather than trying to build the perfect one every time. Which is what I'm going to try right around soonish. This is the play, I think. Oh, there's a clock here too, I never noticed. It feels like it's advancing very slowly, but we're almost there. The safe should be open in a moment. I don't think it's real time at all, but I don't know, I could be wrong. Got enough keys, let's get coins. And steps, I guess. Make it go to the right, I suppose. 3 steps too. No item. Drawing room seems good in this position. Maybe it is real time. Couldn't be. Could it? Let's redraft to try to get something going further south other than the gym. I guess we're protected from the gym. Actually, this does let us... we are protected from it, and we do get the funeral parlor buff. The gem. Sure, why not? Bedroom for steps? Yeah. Guess bedroom at the very front of the house seems like a sensible thing. Like, architecturally speaking. Alright, although it's a waste, I am heading out. It should be time, right? I want that mysterious terminal. It often feels like I'm making no progress whenever I fail a run. But as long as I can get something like this, I'll be at least a little bit happy. letter. We finally found another one, after so long. This is number 7. Which of the 8 letters is the one that we can't read? It might be number 8, but it could be any number among the 8. And they're all written by different people, too. Dear Uncle, the disappearance of my cousin Mary has long sat unfavorably with me and my father, and I will freely admit to you that the chilly airs of indifference you may have felt in my presence can be attributed entirely to the suspicions that I have harbored for these past years, suspicions entirely aimed at yourself. It seems like all of these red letters are the ones that aren't too pleased with the uncle. So this would be Cousin Mary. Which side of the family is this? The Epson side? The family tree I don't think is completely complete. This would be Simon's uncle or aunt? And while I have never had the opportunity to prove it, I felt very strongly that you had some deeper involvement in those events 4 years ago. The circulating rumors of those months did nothing but further reinforce my convictions in this fact. Those of us that are once bitten are twice shy, and I am aware of the cost my aggressively aloof behavior has had on the social standing of our family. I do not apologize for my actions, though I am now willing to admit that the conclusions I reached may have been false. Last week I had a confidential conversation with one of our mutual acquaintances, a conversation that has shed more light on this mystery than all of my father's countless fruitless inquiries over the years. This would be grandfather on the Epson side, maybe? Our grandfather even, if I'm understanding family trees correctly. I now have reason to believe that you were in fact responsible for smuggling my cousin under cover of night across the red border to the southern front. I was wondering if she wasn't just disappeared, like by the government, but by secrecy for safety. And I believe this may have occurred in September, a full 7 months after she was reported missing, a date that coincides not with her public disappearance in February, but instead with the notable theft of the ruby crown. If the Blackwater insurgents were in fact responsible for the heist as some have claimed, I believe this scenario entirely plausible, and the fact that 2 of the crown's 8 rubies have now surfaced has given me renewed optimism that she is still alive, safe, and finally free. 8 rubies, 8 letters, and we always find a ruby, I guess, next to one of these letters. I never even thought about it. I just thought it was for game mechanics or something. Perhaps my willingness to accept such a sensational story betrays my own desperation. Desperation for answers, desperation for hope, and desperation for a narrative in which you are not the villain. In that distant land we all dream of, the lands where the strangling crimson curtains draped across our sky are pulled back, and the windows and shutters of discontent flung wide open. In that distant land, I pray one day to find our Marion safe, happy, and absolved. Courtney. She might be alive after all. This might be the biggest red letter we could have found. It seems like one of the later ones, number 7. If they're supposed to be in order or something, but there's really no indication that they should be. After all, the first one we found was number 4. All the same, this does feel like progress in a sense. Not getting towards the antechamber, but towards something else. Now would be a good time to take a break.